Hello, how's everybody? I'm going to talk about a table today. I'm getting right into it. I'm doing a little bit early, okay, because I'm not doing any songs or anything now. But I'm just actually preparing for a really big thing in music. So I'm not going to do the music for a little while, maybe like a few days, because I'm practicing on something really, really, really big. I hope everything works out. So anyway, I'm doing this one early. Um, it's overcoming objections. The thing I would like to say now, I like to talk a little bit before I do it because this one doesn't take that long. But overcome objections. Whatever you do, don't underestimate their overcoming objections. I don't understand. It just has some kind of power. I don't. I'm not gonna. We'll find out maybe later on why it does, but it doesn't matter who you are, and them overcoming an objection can trigger someone's interest. Even if you have a family member or somebody that talks to them, you don't know who it is, but them overcoming an objection with them is something, I don't know, it's something in the mind or whatever, but it really, really can snag that person. I gave an example, so when I go into it, I don't have to. I'll speak about it now. So when I read this table, I don't. I'm not gonna. I don't have to explain it. But I don't know if you know Teresa Graves. She was an actress. She was a black actress, and a lot of black people, like really liked her. Actually, everybody liked her. But I'm saying she was a role model because back then they didn't have that many black people who were in that kind of a status. But she had a very high status, and everybody liked her. And she became a Jehovah Witness. And I read her story, and it was because of an objection. Somebody gave, okay, there's an objection, it's overcoming an objection, but also they can use the things that they use to overcome an objection to also trigger something in someone. And they used it for her, and it just tied her in, and she just went all the way through. And it messed up her career because she couldn't use the gun, like, she didn't want to shoot the gun because she was a detective in her series. It made her series like not as dramatic, you know. And there was things that she couldn't do. She couldn't do like that. She couldn't do this. She couldn't do that. But she was very good in going high up. And the thing about it is that she became like a spokesperson for the Jehovah Witnesses. But the ending of her life, did she end up with like Jehovah Witnesses surrounding her? No. It's a very sad story. There was somebody who does. I'm gonna tell them to. I'm gonna leave a suggestion because there's one YouTuber that does stories like that. I'm gonna see if I can get her to do that story. Then I'll tell you about it if she's going to do it or not. But that would be very interesting. But anyway, it was a sad story. But I'm just telling you, don't underestimate. Maybe for you, I'm not talking about ex-Jehovah Witnesses, but when you talk to other people, one strong tool that they have is the overcoming an objection. When I say overcoming an objection, it doesn't mean just, like when somebody's talking and then they say something that to overcome the objection, because they use those things as far as what they use in overcoming an objection. They use it also to snag people, okay? And it doesn't make a difference how educated you are. It doesn't make a difference in anything. It's something that triggers in certain people's minds, and when it triggers, that person's taken in, and there's no no return. It's just like I said, don't underestimate it. Now I'm going to, and that's a good point that I had to tell you. So when you're explaining things to people who are not Jehovah's Witnesses, and some of the things that Jehovah's Witnesses use, make sure you tell them about overcoming an objection. Don't underestimate the what they say when they overcome an objection. Okay, so now I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna go on with this. I don't like to, not face you when I'm doing this. So hopefully I can do this. Okay, so this is overcoming objections. This is in compare. Okay. Yeah, in compare. So Jehovah's Witnesses, and the contrast is meaning, use, and benefits. So Jehovah's Witnesses, to snatch a person's the meaning, to snatch a person's interest. Also, I gotta make sure that these things are big enough so I don't have the problems that I had before. I'm gonna make it 125. Like I said, I'm gonna take a course because I gotta refresh on this access. There's so many things that I want to do, and I'm not that maybe I'm not remembering, but maybe they changed it a lot. Okay, so meaning for Jehovah's Witnesses, to snatch a person's interest. It is something that is said to stop a negative comment from a person that they feel may be interested. 3. Okay, 1, to snatch a person's interest. 2, it is something that is said to stop a negative comment from a person that they feel, now that's very important, from a person that they feel to be interested. They're not going to overcome objections. That's another thing that tells you that they're not sincere, because they're not going to overcome objections from somebody with certain ideas. Like, for instance, if you're talking about something that goes against their structure, forget it. They don't even care about the overcoming an objection, I would say. Okay, it's pretty much those who they feel they can draw into. Okay, number 3 example would be if someone that you loved. This is an example of what they would use. One example that they used to use when I was growing up. If someone that you loved was killed by a weapon, would you keep that weapon and put it around your neck? And that's referring to the cross. Now that's something that will trigger in somebody's mind. Okay, so the meaning and use is different. Okay, they use it in the field service. Okay, that was supposed to be 1. So I didn't number it 1. But anyway, 2, when they go from door to door. 2, okay, I should have just put number. I put the 1 in the wrong place, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna keep going on. Okay, so 1 is actually they use it in the field service when they go from door to door. Number 2, when speaking to someone that is interested in their organization. So they can use it like at work if somebody's interested, if they're talking to somebody and they're interested, pretty much anywhere. Number 3, can also be used to keep their followers in line about something that they are teaching them. So it also could be used to, now the thing about it is, like I said, you overcome an objection, but what they use to this is important, what they use to overcome an objection can be just used as not overcoming an objection, but it has 2 uses. Whatever they use for overcoming an objection can be used for, like, they can also use it for their followers. Their followers are not going to have objections, okay? But to bring home points or to keep someone in line, they may use that type of thing, okay? I could expound on it, but I don't. You're an ex-Jehovah's Witness. I'm almost sure that you would know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have to explain what I'm talking about. So let's see if I could give one example. Okay, like, for instance, in their assemblies, I remember when we had the music, okay, when they were talking about music for some reason, the bass music, okay, and they would say something like, to their followers, they would say, uh, would you play this music at, would you play this music in the Kingdom Hall or something like that? And you think like, no, I wouldn't play that in the Kingdom Hall. Well, then don't play it at home. Something like that. So now you understand. Like, I'm glad I gave an example. Okay, so the benefit, it works many times, no matter how number one, I should put one, benefit, it works many times, no matter how educated the person may be. It just works because it triggers something. Okay, number two, example. An actress named Teresa Gray became a Jehovah's Witness by means of overcoming one of her objections, or I can say, okay, so I said overcoming her objections. So it was either overcoming or using something that they would use as an objection. So that's the important part. That's the trick. The same thing, like for instance, like when I told you about the cross, instead of them overcoming an objection, they could say, you know, would you put something around your neck if someone in your family or some loved one was killed by that item? So it doesn't have to be an objection. It still can be used. That's the important part too. Okay, ex-Jehovah Witness. Something that makes them cringe. And overcome an objection. It just makes them cringe, okay? They would not use it. And it does not apply as a benefit. Worldview, and I mean worldview of Christians. Just Christians in general. I mean, you don't even have to be like, you just someone who believes in Jesus. That's what I mean. Okay, doesn't really pertain, which means it could be used against them. So they don't really have a meaning for it. So because they don't have a meaning for it, it could be used. That bait could be used to snag that thing in their mind. And use, they would not use it other than an example. They would use an example if they did understand that there were these things that they say. And benefit, it would not be a benefit for them. It would be a benefit for the Jehovah's Witness. And that's it for now. And I just wanted to say what we're going to do next. We're moving right along. The next one is, let me see. Overcome praying. Okay. Next one is praying. Okay. Thank you very much. And I hope everybody is enjoying their weekend. Okay. I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. Thanks for stopping by. And now I'm in most of the time. I think like every day. I see you pretty much every day. Sometimes I take off one day or whatever, but I'm doing something. You can still see me on the other spots. Thanks for dropping by and hang on in there. I am going to get the I am going to get an interview, even if I have to pay this guy, from this guy. He's very good. He does ex-Jehovah's Witness, like I told you about, and we're going to make that thing happen. So look forward to that too. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye bye.